Coach, how would you describe the difference in the two halves today?
The start of the game, I thought we were pretty good. Built a 15-point lead. Then sort of lost traction mid-second quarter, but closed the second quarter out well, and then started the third quarter, not well.
Do you think you guys just not ready coming out of the locker room?
Yeah, again, I would say I was disappointed, but the missed shots you can deal with, and obviously the point of emphasis about the traveling, so there were we didn't adjust, right, to, okay, they're calling tight travel. So the turnovers and the rebounding were where the disappointment lied. The missed shots are part of the game. You can live with that as long as you're being unselfish and, taking the right shots. That's part of the game. But the rebounding piece of it, the turnover piece of it, that's hard. It's hard to win like that. And so we have to fix it, and we have to fix it fast.
Tom, they made 24 threes, but they took 61. How much of a concern was that for you?
Yeah, and again, the same thing, like when I said, like the rebounding piece of it. So we thought they would take 45 to 50, right? They ended up taking 60. And you got to get in, get out, challenge them. But then you also know a byproduct of the long shot is the long rebound. And so they had, I think, 24 points off the offensive rebounds. And when you couple that with the points off the turnovers, it's hard to overcome that. So, and usually we're a very low turnover team, and usually we're the better offensive rebounding team. And tonight we didn't do that. And so the third quarter, we got outscored badly.
Bigger picture, and you guys are giving up more threes than any other team in the league, and it's hard to look at that and not match that up with where you rank in just points allowed per possession. Like, how do you believe that you guys can climb in defense while you still give up?
Yeah, well, it depends on how, like I told you, I look at defense probably differently than you guys do. I do look at the things that I said, like the points in the paint is a big thing, the rim. Okay, the rebounding piece is important. For me, the metric that I go by more than anything is field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage. So I think we were 11th in three-point field goal percentage going into the night. Now, would I like us to not allow as many? Yes. That's getting in and getting out. That's flying around. It's doing all those things. So, like I said, we've got a lot of work to do. But I also know that there's things that we're doing well defensively.
Tom, you talk about the multiple efforts and getting out on guys and getting back the rebounds. Is there something still the second half, kind of that word intensity that you guys have seen before that wasn't there today in that second half?
Yeah, I want to look at the film before I comment on, whether, and that's usually the first thing you look at is, okay, are we doing it hard enough? And then the second thing is the scheme being executed correctly. Those are the two things you look at. And then if the answer is yes, we are doing it hard enough and the scheme is being executed and they're scoring, then you think about your adjustment. Otherwise, if you don't do it that way, you're going to be changing on every possession. So you try to identify the things that you can become good at. And then some nights, you can defend a player well. Like Doncic is going to put a lot of pressure on you. We knew that going in. Yeah, and he creates good offense, and he's very unselfish. So, and the challenge for us is to give the appropriate help, and then get in and get out, and then challenge the shot, then finish your defense, and then do it time after time after time after time. And so that's what we'll look at.
From where you sat on the sideline, how do you think Quentin did in the first half versus Luka versus the second half?
And again, it's a 48-minute game, and as I said, the thing about the way he plays is you can defend him well, and he can still make. And so, and he's all over the floor. There's different areas. You're going to look at him in pick and roll. You look at him in transition. You're going to look at him in the post. So you have to be ready for all those things. And then the thing that probably hurt us was the scramble plays, the plays that came off of a long offensive rebound or one of our turnovers. And those are the things, those are hard plays. Live ball turnovers, those are tough to recover on.
It's the third time at home where you guys have had a big lead in the first half and then kind of lost going away. How do you explain in the same game where you play so well early and then just not?
Yeah, and I think it's something that you're seeing that more and more in the league, that no leads are, like a team comes down, they hit 3 or 4 threes, and all of a sudden they can go on a run, and they score with 41 points in the third, right? So, you can make up ground too. Like if you keep playing the game and you don't beat yourself, you don't turn it over, you don't give up the second shot, you'll have a chance to come back too. And so that's what you want, is a consistency, and that's what we have to work on, is being consistent every night. We know some nights we're not going to shoot as well as others. Every team in the league is like that. But all the things that we can control in terms of the consistency is our defense, our rebounding, and not turning the ball over.
You guys started up 18-6 with points in the paint. The Knicks are top 5 in the league in offensive rebounding, Mavericks 29th. The trenches, you guys were kind of dominating that battle in that first half. In that second half, where the Mavericks kind of came back in those statistical categories and it reflected on the score, do you think, how did New York lose that battle in the trenches? Do you think it was a lack of focus from the players and their assignments in the second half, or did Dallas?
Yeah, and again, I want to look at the film to know exactly what transpired. But like I said, the thing that bothered me more than anything was when we turned it over. Like that's some of them are travels that they call tight, but we should have adjusted to that. The live ball turnovers bothered me, and then the second shots. Like sometimes there was good initial defense, and we gave up a second. And you give a team like that a second and third crack at it, you're gonna pay. And we did.
How do you think the team is kind of responding to this style of play? I mean, you mentioned it. The inconsistency is pretty apparent. You'll have 2 games where it seems like you're going up, and then the game tonight will happen. How do you think the team is responding to the way that you guys are playing right now? Well,
I mean, you look at it in totality in terms of, okay, does this give us the best chance to win? And I think it does. And so, the bounce of the ball go different way. Like there's probably three or four more wins, So, and over the course of a season, you got to believe that it works itself out. And so, I want us doing the right things each and every day. Trust what we're doing. Keep working at it. When we fall short, we're disappointed, but be more determined the next time, and learn from it and grow. And we have a lot of young guys that will get better as we go along. So stay the course, be strong-minded, be determined, and every night, you see, just look at the scores. There's crazy scores every night.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Best thing for this reaction. I asked you a couple of games back about Coach Thibodeau talking about you taking shots that don't put as much of the onus on the referees to blow the whistle. But you got to the rim pretty comfortably tonight a couple times. Do you feel like that is a shift that has happened, that you are more comfortable with your decisions with the ball in your hands, especially around the rim?
Yeah, sure. Just been watching a lot of the film, and just trying to see where I could be better, and so that been trying to do that, and trying to get to the line more.
RJ, just as a group, the difference from what you guys came out with, building a 15-point lead, and what they did in the third quarter. What do you think turned there?
Made a lot of threes. Tough to stay in a game when a team is making threes like that. So, but at the end of the day, we got another game tomorrow, so we got to clean it up, because it was kind of, it's kind of frustrating, especially knowing that, we actually had a really good first half. The tail of the 2 halves was, kind of crazy. So, we got to try to play a 48-minute game.
What do you do to flush? What do you do to flush a game like today when you got a quick turnaround tomorrow?
I mean, as soon as we leave here, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go and just come ready tomorrow, because no one feels bad for you. So you got to just try to come in tomorrow and get a win.
Jalen was saying they wanted it more than you guys. Is it, there's been mention of intensity or effort. Is that disturbing to you that it 3-4 times it's happened? We were talking about that after.
I mean, today especially, it was just really frustrating. I think we started off very well. We were playing a really good game, and then it flipped all of a sudden. So, yeah, it's definitely frustrating.
RJ, in general, not just today, you guys in the third quarters this year, it's been your worst quarter if you just look at like score differential per quarter. It's been like really stark. Why do you think that is? Why has that continued?
I don't know. Maybe because I don't know, but also like a lot of times maybe we have good first, second quarters. The other team is gonna give you their best punch. Coming out the break, and especially if we're playing well in the first half, we got to know that, and we can't let it happen.
Is it possible that the opposite can be true too? Like, do you feel at all like there's a sort of like, okay, you're like a comfort level, like, okay, you're up 7, you're comfortable, and you don't come out?
I don't say a comfort level. I'll just say like the other team is good too. So they don't want to lose either. So they're coming out with some intensity.
All right, what was most upsetting about the second half? Besides the obvious, obviously they hit a ton of threes.
I mean, the obvious was what was upsetting. I mean, they hit so many threes, then we didn't really give ourselves a chance.
Did you feel like enough of them were contested, or were there too many open looks?
Some of them were contested, some of them were open. They were making a lot of them. So, yeah, I don't know what they shoot, like 40-something% three, something like that. It's tough to win like that.
All right. Thanks very much. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.